We are talking about a change that's going on right now. I'm going to start by just sharing with you something that you all know is going on. You all know that impact is going up. We talk about it, we see it in the news. We see hackers having more and more likelihood of getting through our tools. And at the very same time, whenever we see something like this, whenever we see impact and likelihood both going up, that means that we have an increase in risk. I'm here to tell you that we have a big problem, and I'm going to spend a couple of minutes scaring the hell out of you. And then I'm going to talk to you about how you can make this opportunity from a problem. The big problem is that right now, MSPs are getting sued. There's an MSP in California who's fighting for their life. Right now, 1 in 5 ransomware events ends in a lawsuit. Statistically, someone in this room is next. Here's the thing. If I could give you a proven way that could add 11 new clients before the end of the year, actually, how about before the end of November, without having to go through and hire new people and go through onboarding and fight with the prospect and all of those different steps, would you be interested? If so, listen up, because you'll have to do 3 things. You're going to need to educate, reframe, and operationalize. So let's start with the education. In order to get somebody to invest, and they will have to invest, it starts with education. And you could start by talking about things like the number of organizations that were impacted by ransomware last year, or you could talk about the increase in class action lawsuits that's happened already. But there's a different way, and it's much more effective than statting them to death with numbers. We have a patented process that starts with them clicking a link and our team going through analyzing their security for you and giving you a result that you can take to them and show them what was found. So you simply send them a link in their email, they click on it, no alarm bells, no warnings. Then you sit down with them and you go through and you introduce and recommend the pieces of your security program that they should invest with. And then ultimately they approve your recommendation. They're protected and safe, you have new high margin revenue, and everyone's happily ever after. Doesn't that sound great? Well, there's some other things you have to do in order to make that work out. The first one is you're going to want to consider reframing the conversation. You see, everyone today is showing up and saying the exact same things. They're talking about how if there's an event, the HIPAA police are going to show up with microscopes and hold them accountable to all the things that they're not doing. Everyone is showing up talking about ransomware and regulators and the boogeyman. And ultimately, there's a problem with this. It leads to lower prices, it leads to lower margins, it leads to lower close rates, and ultimately, it leaves your clients easier to poach. So how do you differentiate yourself? And the answer is going back to the education, illustrating the risk, showing them a report that they can fully understand, mapping that report back to impact on their own organization, showing them things like passwords that we were able to crack inside of the environment. And then instead of just showing them the data, putting it into a story. Now you're moving from being the person that's showing up like everyone else, and you're demonstrating the risk, and you're helping them understand that lawsuits are worse than ransomware. You're helping them understand that without evidence, they're vulnerable to lawsuits. I was speaking to one of our partners last week who had just gone through and added $194,000 in MRR. Action, evidence, profit. How many of you have clients that believe that you're doing their incident response plan for them, that you've written it out, that they have a customized incident response plan? And if you use, for instance, Huntress, like was mentioned earlier, that you're going through and linking everything together for them. How many of you have clients who think that's happening? This is designed to protect you and quickly increase your MRR. So if that's something you're interested in, swing by our booth and we can help you get started. Thank you very much, everybody. Oh, and one last thing. We do have a coupon code at the booth that will make it cost you $0. Please swing by. Thank you.